You're listening to episode 21 of the Let's Go Comic Show. My name is Justin.
I'm Matt.
And with us today is our frequent contributor and Spider-Man expert, Mr. Delon Anderson.
Hi.
What's up, Delon?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me again.
Welcome back to the Let's Go Cave.
The Let's Go Cave, a.k.a.
That's above.
my dining room.
AKA IKEA table, AKA maybe not. I don't know. So, how's it going?
Man, I'm loving life.
You're loving life, dude.
Yeah.
You got a tasty Seagram's ginger ale right there.
Oh yeah, made with real ginger. It's got a horse on it.
And it's got a horse.
Makes me think of
When there's a horse, you know
it's
tasty. First off, we're going to jump into Spider-Man. We are going to spoil Spider-Man Homecoming. But before we jump all the way into Spider-Man, I want to kind of set up with expectations. What were your expectations going in? And since Delon is our Spider-Man expert, he has gone to school for many years to learn all the intricacies of the web of Spider-Man. He knows everything from Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, to Peter Parker, to Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham. Hey! To Spider-Man by Todd McFarlane, to the Marvel Knights Spider-Man series, to the Amazing Spider-Man and all the different reboots.
Pretty much every incarnation. To
web
just
of
Mary
Spider-Man.
Jane.
Mary Jane.
Just even without Spider-Man.
Yeah. You were disappointed to find out the Aunt May solo movie never happened. Remember during the Sony leaks?
I was actually really disappointed. That sounded amazing.
If it's
I like the wackier the
if
better.
it's the Marissa Tomei as Aunt
I'd
May,
actually be okay with that.
So I saw the funniest thing today. It was great, and I don't know. I think it was. I don't know where I saw it. I don't remember where I saw it, but it was a meme, and it was like, oh no, it was Andy DiGenova from Holy Batcast posted. And, Marissa Tomei is the same age as Rue McClanahan was when she started the Golden Girls.
What?
Yeah. So
Really?
yeah. So like Rue McClanahan was like 51 when in the Golden Girls when it first started, and that's how old.
Wait, really? That's like blowing my mind right now.
Marissa
Yeah.
Tomei is 51 years old?
Dude, no, she is 50 years old.
Hey.
Just kidding.
Gosh. Oh man. Okay.
Anyways, so it made it less okay. She can be the cool aunt, you know. But anyway, so sorry, that was just a
So you're talking
random
about
little
expectations going into the
expectation.
film.
What were your expectations? There we go. Let's get to that. Expectations going into Spider-Man: Homecoming. A lot of people were like, it looks like every Marvel character's in this movie, which that's what everyone wanted with Spider-Man. So it was like, that's a dumb complaint. So, but I just feel like it's dumb. Like that's what people were from this trailers. It's Iron Man 4 and all this other stuff. So what were your thoughts going into before the movie started? Before you watched it, Delon.
Me?
Sorry, that was your big build-up that got hijacked.
Man, he set you up so well.
Well,
Nope.
I was just really excited that Tom Holland got to play around in a movie. I mean, I try not to go in with too many expectations after Spider-Man 3, so I just kind of hoped it would be fun. You know, I'm like, if I have a good time, then that's fine. They had the kind of classic-y looking suit. Everything I saw of it looked good, so I was expecting it to be a pretty fun time.
Did you like him in Civil War?
I loved him in Civil War.
Yeah.
That was some of my favorite Spider-Man stuff of anything that's happened.
Yeah.
I would say during Civil War, I was ready for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as I was watching Spider-Man in Civil War, I was like, oh man, yep, I'm ready.
The
for
moment
whatever
he
movie's coming
left, I'm just like, oh no, like let's see what
what's
he's
he
doing.
Where's Aunt May? Aunt May, hey. Just kidding. Let's have Aunt May puns the whole show.
We just may.
Hey, there we go.
All right. I would say my expectations going into it were pretty high.
Yeah.
Again, because of the introduction of the character in Civil War,
Right.
set the bar pretty high. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I think the entire time he was on screen in Civil War, I was laughing. I was excited. I was like just fully engrossed in that. And so that's what I went in expecting with this movie.
Laughed.
Oh. Yeah, I loved all the Civil War stuff because the fight between him and Winter Soldier and Falcon was the best.
Yes.
Because they were already
where
hating
he
each other.
catches Winter Soldier's fist, I was like,
He's like, you have a metal arm? That's awesome. I actually like the part, like not even with Spider-Man, but when Falcon and Winter Soldier like webbed and are on the floor, and he's like, I hate you.
Yes. The quippiness of
that's why that
him in Civil War
was
was just amazing. Like I oh my gosh. Anyways.
Yeah, I was excited. I mean, there was nothing where I was like not wanting to see this movie. Like, there was a lot of people like I follow on Twitter that were like, I'll see it, but I'm not excited. And I was like, dude, I'm really pumped to see this. Like,
they're losers.
Totally.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Hey, that was
Incoming tape.
Delon at Delon.com. If you want to send him an email.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're one of those people that think like that.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Don't send me anything.
Okay, so we had so we have our expectations.
Yeah, it was good.
It
was actually in expectations. It was like a gotta go in my expectations. That's where I kind of rated my expectation for this film. Like I couldn't wait.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So how was the actual theater experience for you guys for this? Any stories to tell? Sometimes those make really good stories.
Just the trailers, to be honest. Like it was cool. Before we started, I was talking about the Black Panther trailer. It was really cool seeing it in theater because I actually got to hear it better. Like I was watching it on like my phone and on TV. It just didn't sound as good with the soundtrack. And I was telling Matt, like I couldn't hear some of the background. Like what the heck? What are they saying in the background? So it was cool to see like the scope and see people go, what? So it was cool. But
dude, I wish I could see that.
My favorite part was I'm sitting next to my 5-year-old and the Justice League trailer came on. And like he just knows it beat for beat now because he's seen it so many times. And there's that part where Batman's like talking to Flash. And he's like, "What's your superpower?" And Batman's like, "I'm rich." But Oliver does it. He's all, "I'm rich," and he's doing his little Batman voice.
Yeah.
And this guy, you can hear this person laughing and like people hearing him. And then there's the part where Batman goes, "My turn," and Oliver does it. He goes, "My turn." And so it was just cool hearing him like say the lines and like he did other lines, but those two were the best because he did Batman. So it has nothing to do with Spider-Man, but it just made me laugh about just him interacting, and to him it was cool. He was like no one else was there. It was just his show. So
yes.
Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Delon?
The thing that comes to mind also during the trailers when the Black Panther one went off, my friend's wife turned to me and was like, "Black Panther is black?" And
what?
We had a good
Hold on.
Yeah.
You're not joking.
No, I was not joking at all. Like we asked ourselves that question. We're like, wait, what? Like yeah.
Like straight face.
Wow. Black Panthers. She whispered it to him, but it was one of those whispers that everyone heard. Like, Black Panther's black.
Please tell me people reacted around her when she.
Well, we did. I mean, in our group. I mean, I think everybody else is too polite, like in the world, to turn around and be like, "Wait, no." Like it just helped me realize that not everybody knows this stuff.
That's
because that's something I thought
was that the first trailer she saw.
I understand a lot of people don't know stuff.
Did she see Civil War?
That's why I'm not revealing names. Don't get mad at me if you hear this. But yeah,
that's funny.
I thought it was very cute. That's how I'll cover it up.
That's really funny.
Cute.
Oh man, nothing to report from my theater going experience other than I did not get to see the Black Panther trailer on the big screen there.
Yeah.
Maybe that affected my view of Spider-Man: Homecoming, was not being able to see the Black Panther trailer.
Oh wow, so he's already a gray cloud is.
Dude, it's starting to descend, and I will go into this conversation willingly saying that it could be me and my attitude or something about me that was the problem in not seeing this movie the same way you guys have, because I have a guess that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
Which I would say this is the point where we're going to start getting into spoilers. But
yeah,
before
spoilers.
we do, due to our friend Delon's awesome suggestion that we're trying to implement a little more, I think gut reaction / first rating. All right. So real quick, our rating system, if you're new to Let's Go Comic Show, is we start at the bottom with a don't go. Above that is going to be a go.
Like, I want to give examples for each one.
Yeah. Why do you want to give examples?
I thought
Spider-Man
real
examples.
quick.
Can we give Spider-Man examples?
I worked on this.
Okay,
examples. Spider-Man
don't
examples.
Go. What would be the Spider-Man example?
Spider-Man 3.
Thank you. I was hoping we would not disagree on that.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'd say
go would be above that. This is an average movie.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay. A Let's Go is pretty good. That's like a B.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 1.
Okay. And
Let's Go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gotta go.
Spider-Man 2.
Dude, I agreed with all of those.
There you go.
Look at us. See, we're
I like
we're
Spider-Man.
united.
Now, I would have said like for a don't go, I would have said 1970s Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man.
Oh wow,
Because that's terrible.
Digging deep.
It's so terrible. It's good though.
I don't know. You know what's really crazy? Have you ever seen the weird
I don't know about
Japanese
that.
one where Spider-Man fights like the
yes.
mechs? Those are cool, dude. Like, I want
You
Spider-Man
seen
to
that
team up with
creepy one
Spider-Man.
where I don't even know if it's official or something, where he's an evil villain and he has a hamster going down this tube into a guy's mouth?
I'm just gonna sneak away real quick, guys.
Yeah.
Delon and Justin got this. It's another moment where I'm like,
He's an evil villain, and
No.
this guy screaming. He has this gerbil or something going down a tube into this man's mouth.
That has nothing to do with spider powers.
I will
He's
show
all-
you after
he's
this, and you
all-
can link it in your
one
show
of my
notes.
other-
It's
A lot of
amazing.
Spider-Man
we'll put it
Homecoming
there.
didn't have to do with spider powers either.
Oh, dang. One of his other powers is like, I have this Gerbil-tube power. Makes no sense,
If
but
anyone, ladies, if
I've got
anyone
a-
says they have a Gerbil-tube power, please
run. It's Richard Gere, and just don't get involved. It's weird.
Oh,
And
Oh
then
gosh.
I would say another don't go would be the Electric Company Spider-Man who never talked.
what?
Remember that one?
Okay.
Okay, it's never
I got
mind.
another
We're going
one.
off the rails.
No, I'm
I
gonna
had to-
test Delon's knowledge right now.
Do it.
Spider-Man cartoons.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
don't go.
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Thank you.
I was hoping
Do
we were all thinking,
not touch that
it's
freaking
horrible.
trash.
Yeah, that was
juice.
like, let's do.
gross.
That's this week's trash. This week's trash juice is Spider-Man
We're
Unlimited.
taking it back.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, so a go.
Because they're trying to be Batman.
A go. Oh my gosh. See, this is why when you
I know
guys
what
say I'm
yours
an
is.
expert.
This is why you're the
A
expert.
go.
This is why I'm not an expert.
I've got it if you don't got it. What a go is.
What?
Maybe we're all gonna have an
Just
opinion
a
on this
go?
one. We might agree on what this
A
one's
go
gonna
is
be.
just like, oh, you
I
should
just
check
say
it
I don't
out.
know. Maybe spectacular.
No, I'm going to say MTV's Spider-Man.
Oh gosh,
That
I
was
forgot
weird,
all.
man.
That's
That was weird. I wouldn't put that.
I'd
even
put that
high
as a
go.
don't go.
Really?
I'd put it as don't go.
That
So
was
maybe between
terrible.
a don't
It
go
was
and a go.
interesting.
I would
watched
say
it.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Oh, no, that's a let's go.
You would say let's go on that?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
it's so good. It's
No, I think it's good. I just have other ones
It
that
has
are
the
above
best
that.
theme song, dude. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na.
Dude, that is.
Has that cool like
That is
guitar.
a good one.
I don't.
so it made this so hard.
It was probably the first one I watched, and he was hanging out with like his buddies.
Yeah, my kids always liked watching the one with the bee guy.
Who?
There would be like a bunch of bees, but make up like a big, large guy. Like it was so weird and creepy. It was like the main bad guy,
Did he have hamster powers?
hamster Gerbil-tube Powers.
Amazing Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was fun. They had an
I thought it
X-Men
was.
crossover.
I did think it was fun.
Yeah.
Go is a good rating, everybody.
Yeah.
For in case
But
you're
They lived in
picking up
that cool
the vibe.
apartment. They lived in that cool apartment.
A
that
go
like,
is a good
sucks
rating.
going on.
But I want to
Yeah.
reiterate. A go is a good rating. That's not bad.
no,
A
you're
go
right,
is
you're
a
right.
go is something that kind of plays to your taste, though.
Yes,
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you say a let's go of the
A let's
animated
go?
Spider-Man?
Let's go. Why am I blanking on the name of the most recent
Ultimate?
one? Yeah.
Oh, really? I would say Spectacular Spider-Man would be a let's go for me.
I haven't seen Spectacular Spider-Man.
It was a good one.
Yeah,
I was
that's
actually
what I've
really
heard.
sad
That's what
that
I
it was
heard.
over. Ultimate Spider-Man grew on me a ton though, and I
Mhm.
think that's a gotta go.
Anything that can justify the spider cycle has done an amazing job, right? Because that's
Well,
the
the way
most
they included
worthless
Iron
thing
Fist
ever.
and Power Man
Mhm.
and White Tiger, and then when you go to like the later seasons where they brought in like
They brought
Iron
Miles
Spider's
Morales.
in there,
Yes.
Miles Morales was in there, Donald Glover voicing it.
Yeah, I like how
was really
Agent
good.
Coulson was done by
Greg Clark.
Yeah, Greg Clark. That was cool.
That was great.
Um,
I thought it was really great.
I did. I thought it was a good card. It was fun.
Anyway,
it was quippy.
those are our ratings for the
Oh,
Spider-Man
and
cinematic.
Oh,
what about Gotta Go?
that? The Gotta Go. What?
That's,
Of course.
that was gotta go for me.
Oh, Gotta Go for
Ultimate.
me is just Spider-Man, just the Fox.
The 90s Fox one?
Yes.
Man, I think that's overrated. To be
Yeah,
honest.
I actually didn't.
I think you're overrated.
I watched
so-
it at the time. I was
Back in the
into
day,
it
it
at the
was-
time, but that thing did not age well. Okay, gut reactions and rating first before we jump
yeah.
into the movie.
Oh, gut reaction.
Gut reaction rating.
Loved it, and it is a Gotta Go.
Gotta Go. Super fun.
I'm ready for the rotten fruit to be thrown at me. I'm going to say go. Which I want to remind everyone. See how silent it got in this room right now? Like, I want to remind everyone that is a good rating.
Not for you.
There we go. That's it.
Hey, man, should I go watch Spider-Man: Homecoming? Yeah, you should go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh,
You should.
Be excited about it. Maybe I should just watch Baby
Guys,
Driver.
let's
if
talk
there's
this.
a John Cena interview, don't move too quickly. Or
Guys,
Maury
let's
Povich
talk through
song.
this. Maybe you can get me to bump that up a little bit. It's not going to be a gotta go for me.
Okay, that's fair.
But hey, let's talk through this.
Just from the get-go, like the fanfare, the opening scene with Vulture with Michael Keaton, I like that. I just like. Sometimes it's like, oh, we're going back to the world of the Avengers again, but it's kind of cool how that world has set up the world. And
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good way to bring Spider-Man in, like to show where his tale has started with the Marvel Universe. So I like that part with Keaton. And you kind of like the best villains are the ones you start to feel bad for. Like you understand like what he's doing. Like, man, he got hosed, by the. It was cool seeing Damage Control in there too. So that was a whole other thing. Seeing that, that's cool.
Yeah. I expected more from Damage Control though. Like when I heard it was going to be in the movie, I'm like, oh, cool, Damage Control.
Yeah,
and it was like the name, and that was it.
But part of me thought like, oh no, Damage Control is gonna be like the overarching villain or something. It wasn't, and so I'm kind of glad it wasn't.
I'm still hoping for that show on ABC, so I'm like, don't wreck it with this movie.
That's not gonna happen, dude.
Yeah,
I want it.
Yeah, Powerless killed that for everybody.
Powerless kind of proved that wasn't going to work.
Yeah, no one cares. But yeah, I love the intro, and then I love the fanfare with the '60s like music.
Yeah,
I
the orchestral rendition of that.
That was cool, man. That was cool.
Giacchino's killing it.
Was that who it was?
Yeah,
Yes.
Michael Giacchino.
Oh, it was good. I love that part.
Dude, he's great. He's such a great composer. How did you guys feel about maybe just general things that we liked, and then we can go from there. That'll probably springboard. Tell me what you guys liked. Win me over.
Okay, I just had a lot of fun with it. Like I think at this
what made it fun though? Because I felt like that's what I was missing.
Wow.
Peter just
Dude, I'm not trying to like be mean about it.
No,
Like,
definitely. I've just
no.
Because I said like my expectation going in was like what they did in Civil War. Mm-hmm. I'm like a whole movie of that. Yeah, please. Yeah. And the whole movie I was waiting for that to happen.
I didn't think it reached that height, but I think Tom Holland was a really likable Peter for me and a likable Spider-Man, and he had a lot of the whole like it seemed like they dealt a lot with the struggles that he has with being a teen and all that, and that was just fun to me. I love seeing that different side of superhero dumb or whatever, and that Spider-Man owns that, and them focusing on that the whole time just was really good for me.
I will say it felt like authentically like a high school movie.
Yeah.
Like there were even moments I'm like, oh, this reminds me of stuff like Can't Hardly Wait or 10 Things I Hate About You. Just like those kinds of movies, but even more so where I'm like, oh, I believe that these people are all in high school, and it's kind of that kind of a feel for the movie.
I absolutely love the part where they kind of juxtaposed Ferris Bueller's Days Off with him. It was super like that was the John Hughes like influence that they kind of talked about.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just like Ferris Bueller. And then when they are actually watching, he's all, great movie. I love that part. That was cool. I love
whenever you play to Justin's 80s sensibility.
Yeah, man. Ferris Bueller's Days Off is
that.
like my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah,
it's the perfect movie. It's everything about it's perfect.
It's a really, really good movie.
So it was really cool to see that it was that. Like there was some of the beats where like he's like, no, don't get up. Like he did all the same stuff, and so it was kind of neat. I don't know if some people hated that. Like it was a wink in the nod, but it was a big wink and a big nod.
Yeah, it was a huge.
I like that.
Huge wink.
It's a huge wink. So,
but yeah, I'm not gonna be. I'm probably not gonna convince you because I'm really
no, and you don't have to
easy
as sorry. Let's just have a conversation. Let's just be friends.
Like it just, I just was happy. I just get happy to see Spider-Man again. Just like if you don't wreck Spider-Man and he's on the screen, I'm gonna be happy with it. And then the story made enough sense for me. I liked the Vulture a lot as a villain. Mm-hmm. I liked There were things I didn't like, and I'm sure we'll get to that later, you know, but for the most part, I loved the way that suit looked. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I loved when he first put it on and the eyes adjusted. I giggled like a little girl. That was amazing.
That's true. That was it's a good looking Spider-Man suit. Like it's just really solid.
Is that suit better than the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit? So the movie's terrible. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is kind of like, eh. The suit was good. I mean, it was a great suit. Like if you go back to that opening shot,
I don't know if I'd say it's better. I would say it's up there.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think if I had to say like ones that I think when I look at it, I'm like, whoa, like that's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is kind of the epitome of it for me.
Same here.
Yeah. But I would say
in a different way,
switch the heads. I think this head works. The way they did the eyes moving.
This head is great.
Spider-Man's eyes moving is huge. Like
I do think that's huge, but I think the size of the eyes, the adjustment they made in Amazing Spider-Man 2, like I feel like.
See, I like my Ramita Ditko eyes.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Careful,
my Ditko eyes.
My Ditko eyes. Yeah, I that's what I love that style.
I don't mind the McFarlane eyes. You know.
I think the McFarlane eyes, like the Raimi eyes, I never liked.
No, me neither.
Didn't like them. They look.
And Amazing Spider-Man 1 was just.
Actually, I didn't mind the Amazing Spider-Man 1 eyes. Those were more in line with what I liked. I didn't mind those eyes.
There was so much about that costume.
That costume sucked.
Just trash
so
juice.
bad.
Yeah, it looked like why do you look like you're in the Olympics?
Get a belt, loser.
So we talked about. Let's talk about that costume a little bit then for this one. Like, what is it specifically that makes it stand out to you? We talked about the moving eyes is a huge part.
The moving eyes.
Spider-Man's expression. It's kind of like similar to like the way they did with Deadpool.
Yeah,
I would say like if you didn't have that, you'd be missing a lot.
Yeah, well, it helps him emote, but it has sense in the story that it helps him balance his senses and stuff like that. And so I like that.
What else would you say?
The colors popped a lot for me. Like I love the color. In that suit.
The color's good. I like the webbing. I wasn't a fan of the raised webbing on the Maguire suit.
Me neither.
It just didn't do anything for me. And even the Garfield suit, like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, does have the raised webbing, but it worked more for me. But I like that the raised webbing is not there. So
the raised webbing on the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man though, like that was like super intense. Like that had to have been uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was
weird,
one of those things, like metal and stuff. It just looked weird.
It was the only one around, so I just like swallowed it. I was like, all right, I guess. But when I first saw it, I was just like, are you serious? Like, what? There's all this cable everywhere.
I thought it was good. I mean, everyone can appreciate the web cartridges being like just web cartridges and not some weird thing coming out of his wrist.
Oh gosh, yes. So
we can all agree that that's a better option.
I like that on this suit too. You could see like the little compartments and stuff. It made more sense than, I mean, that's always made more sense to me than Spider-Man just kind of reaching under and grabbing things out of his pants.
That's true. Like having like hey, I'm gonna have this cartridge. I'm gonna reload.
Yeah. And the use of black, I thought was really cool. Like
around the arms and stuff. Yeah. When I first saw the suit,
I didn't like it on the shoulders
I didn't like it
at first.
But
it doesn't bug me. I mean, it looks like it fits, and especially like that it's a Stark made suit.
Yeah, it definitely says Stark on there.
Yeah.
Without screaming it, you know.
I don't like a lot of the weird lines all over it. Like on the blue, there's a lot of lines.
That's
and
true.
Stuff. But it's not distracting. Like in motion, you don't see it, but like in these stills that I have pulled up here, they're kind of weird. They look weird, like as a steel thing. But
and the spider.
I like the spider.
The spider's cool.
Spider is great. Yeah, I just think it's. The more I think about it, it's probably my favorite suit.
It's a good suit.
Yeah.
That makes me think, what do you think of towards the end of the movie when Tony Stark presents him with a new suit?
Yeah,
What do you think about that suit?
I think it looked good, but I was like, don't take that suit.
Same exact thing. I was like, oh no.
Oh, really? I didn't think it looked good.
Oh, I thought it looked cool. Like, it looked cool.
I thought it was neat. I'm like, okay, whatever. But
it seemed like overkill to me. I was like, don't.
I was like, if you change your suit to this thing, like, and I was like, they're not going to change it.
You know what I did like, though? The homemade suit was actually one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Rad.
I like the homemade suit.
Love that suit.
It was really good.
I would have taken more of that.
I was glad that they did the climax with the homemade suit. It was just super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The homemade suit is really fun. I mean,
I appreciate it.
Every one of them. I mean, the Tobey Maguire homemade suit was fine. Like that one was fine. The Andrew Garfield one sucked. He just looked like a weird he actually looked like Baron Zemo more than Baron Zemo looked like. There you go. He looked like they should have used that suit as Baron Zemo.
All right. I feel like I could transition into things I didn't like having to do with the suit, but I won't because we'll stick with things that we liked. What about? So I'll throw out another thing I liked.
Yeah.
Another couple things I liked. The diversity felt, or I should say, representation within the cast felt like real world. Like that was another thing that felt like, oh yeah, this doesn't feel forced. It feels like, no, this is like what a normal high school in New York would look like.
Yeah.
And all of those characters I thought did a good job. And I would say especially the characters that got some of the littlest screen time were actually my favorite characters in the movie, I would say. And that would be the character of Michelle. I actually enjoyed her character a lot. And then Donald Glover's character, we already said spoilers, but Aaron Davis, we find out.
Prowler,
uncle to Miles Morales.
Okay, that part was cool. When
I thought he was rad. I loved that scene with him in it.
Well, here's what was cool in my brain when they did like these guys don't have any like information on them, but this guy, Donald Glover's character, it said the Prowler, and in my head I was like, oh dude, he's Miles' uncle. In my head I was like, that's cool.
Did it say the Prowler?
It said the Prowler
when he had the heads up display.
Yeah, the heads up. It said the Prowler as like an AKA.
Yeah, I didn't.
And so I was like, oh dang dude, okay, so he's gonna be Miles' his uncle.
And then he said something about like.
But then when he said, I have a nephew that lives by, I was like, oh. So that like validated that was like that little secret moment. Like, oh,
that was cool. Joyful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I did like him. I liked him. But I felt like that was the one moment I think in the movie where it felt like he was kind of a caricature rather than like a real person. Like,
really? I thought the exact opposite. Actually, he was one of the only people I felt like in the movie. I'm like, oh, you seem like just a normal dude.
He seemed like he was trying really hard to be tough black guy. Like in
really,
movie.
what? I thought he was cool. Like because when he was in the parking garage, no, it's fine. Like however, I mean, everyone takes things differently, you know. I thought that he was kind of like, all right, man, it's cool. Like you need to work harder at doing this because the Prowler's not. Depending on how you're reading, he's usually just...
He's like an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's not like a bad guy, but he's not a good guy. But he was just like, I know you're trying to do something good, but he was kind of ribbing him a little bit too. Like
yeah, that part I liked.
You're not good at this.
Yeah.
I think it was just kind of the way he carried himself and the way like he kind of talked kind of seemed like...
I like the Batman voice that he rolled up on.
Oh,
that was really funny.
The enhanced interrogation mode.
Yeah.
It's just like...
That was cool.
I kept thinking during the movie, I'm like,
funny.
why doesn't he change his voice? So then when that happened, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
But we don't want Spider-Man to have that voice.
No.
But that's what was so great about that part. The Batman voice was really funny. So, okay, so keep going. What are the other things that you liked?
I feel like those were kind of the main things. I will say the Captain America PSAs were pretty great.
Oh, man.
And the way it was used with the gym teacher who's like, me and your teacher here, and he points to the right and the points on the left.
Hannibal Buress, dude, was hilarious
Hannibal
at that point.
Was great.
Where I think he's like a war criminal or something now.
But he like didn't care. Yeah. Like he was like, I don't care.
He does so much with so little.
He's a war criminal or something, but whatever. I got to show you guys his face.
He's amazing. The PSA at the end was one of my favorite.
Oh my gosh. I was so frustrated, but I was so tickled by that. Like
it
at
was
the same time, where I was like,
they played it up too much. People are like, you gotta stay for the last one.
They trolled people so hard with that. I thought, well, I love that it didn't turn out to be anything big because that was the whole point of it.
Yeah, yeah. It was the joke landed really well. I just thought it was gonna be like mysterious.
It took like a second in our theater, and then everybody started putting it together. It was like, oh my gosh, it's fun.
Yeah, I know it's fun. Okay.
What's some stuff you like, Justin?
I don't know if anyone noticed this. I thought it was cool. So, Karen, which some people I've read don't like the idea of Karen in his head. I liked it because it made sense for... I like Peter Parker. Some of his dialogue is always funny, you know, and he's not talking to anybody. So you don't get his personality. So it gave him somebody to talk to.
You don't get the text bubbles like you would.
You don't get the text bubbles. So I didn't mind any of him talking to Karen. But it's Jennifer Connelly who was his like... computer, whatever, his talk to person, right?
AI.
Right.
Yeah.
His AI. So her husband is Paul Bettany, who was Jarvis.
Right.
Oh, that's a cool connection.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now he's Vision, but
I hated that he had
so
a heads-up
cool.
display in AI, though, so I'm not going to get too excited about that. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think it was just for this. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think that's going to be for, because he even said, like, he just wants the suit. He doesn't need all the other stuff, you know? Because he even tried to turn it all off. Like, I don't need all that. I just want to shoot webs. I think it was just to show, like, he needed to show he can do it on his own. And he did that later on in the movie. But I just thought that was cool. I enjoyed him talking and be able to figure things out. And
yeah. That scene where he's stuck in that warehouse was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the different things.
Yeah, that
how
would have
long have
been
we
a
been here?
challenge without anybody to talk to.
Minutes? Yeah.
That was they got me with that too. Like where you have like this whole montage of things of him talking to her and like, how long have we been here? 37 minutes.
I thought that was funny. See, that was good stuff. There was some good things. I like.
There were good things.
Yeah, Betty
I don't
Brant
know.
was cool that she was in there. Like, for his first love, and the girl who works at not his first love, but one of the girls.
And that
Daily
awkward
Beauty.
guy.
She always had
there,
like a thing. I don't know who he was.
He was just funny to me.
Yeah.
They both were super
Dude.
awkward.
I was
thought
like,
it
I want to go to
pretty
the
fun.
high school. They have a cool YouTube show, news. That's
Dude, the last
That's
shot
awesome.
of the movie for me, I thought that was great.
oh
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I liked it too.
It was refreshing because I'm like, okay, like, I mean, I don't know.
She's not she's not senile Aunt May. She's not like, oh, go come to make you.
You can only
Shakespeare.
dance around that so much, like,
I was
and
like, get it out of the open. So my question, okay,
It is in line with what the MCU has done and is doing with not having secret identities.
well, it's not like everyone's gonna know.
But they just don't do it for the most part. I mean, yeah, he
Nah.
didn't announce it at like a press conference like Iron Man at the end of Iron Man, which I also didn't like.
That was, but I don't care. I don't have any allegiance to Iron Man.
I don't have
works.
allegiance to Iron Man either, but I think like the idea of super identities, like I think that's a valuable part of superhero mythology.
But you get that
Yeah,
with
it
other
really
characters,
is.
like Batman. He has it.
Which is why I literally almost said Genki right now.
Oh,
Dude.
Why Ned, where I was actually annoyed with him the whole time. I was
Yeah.
like, I should like you more than I do right now. But all you want to do is tell everyone about Spider-Man right now, and I'm really annoyed by you.
yeah, but I think it worked. He's supposed to be annoying. I think you're supposed to be kind of like, what the heck, dude? Like anytime he said something, you're just like,
He knows Spider-Man. Like,
well, yeah, he could have been a little more blatant, And I think that was the point. Was he was supposed to be that, like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? Like annoyed. Even Spider-Man was annoyed with him. Like he gave him that look, like, dude, come on.
I think the only reason I was annoyed with him was I was like, what are they gonna do when they need to have Genki and the Miles Morales? Or they just gonna
They already did it,
have Ned in here, and
which is interesting
because he was the exact same character. Like,
Yeah,
dude.
he is.
Because Delon gave me some comics to catch up on the current run Miles
Yeah.
Morales Spider-Man book, which Genki is talking to this chick that does a YouTube channel. Doesn't
Yep.
want to give his real name. What name does he give her?
Ned.
Ah.
Yeah.
Which I feel like
Is Genki his last name or
is
his
that Brian
nickname?
Bendis just being like,
Probably.
Yeah.
And he's building a Death Star in one of those issues too, right?
I think so. Yeah, the scene where Ned finds out that Peter is Spider-Man, like, is almost like exactly taken out of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Was it Ultimate Spider-Man or just Spider-Man? Was that
Um,
once the regular issues started?
I'm fuzzy.
Yeah,
Not the expert you guys call me.
it didn't bug me that much, but I do see, man, the problem when, because Genki is a huge part of the Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And
Huge.
so huge, he's a huge part. It's the best part. I mean, I think he's the best. Anyways,
Believe me, I know.
believe me, I know. It's gonna feel like the cheaper version, like the Xerox copy of Ned, when it's actually the reverse. So I don't know, man. They could have gave him a different friend.
We're gonna
Could've
have to
been-
be the guys and
Yeah.
like, well, in the comics,
Yeah,
actually.
great.
Well, but I actually, and
They'll
here's the
reboot
thing
it.
where I'll like turn around and defend the choice too, where it's like it's a hard spot to be because they don't want to go the Harry Osborn, Gwen Stacy route that
Yeah.
we've done multiple times in multiple ways.
Yeah.
I get that too. You know what I mean? That they have to do something.
It could have been
different.
anybody. It could have been a kid named, Steve. Like that'd be Steve.
Or if you're gonna do Ned, which is a character from the comics, he was framed for being Hobgoblin at some point and
Oh,
actually ended up
yeah.
marrying Betty Brant.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm not an
So he
expert.
marries Betty Brant at some point. They could have made him not look and act exactly like
Genki, yeah. But that being said,
So,
I didn't care.
that's
I
my
didn't
thought.
mind
Oh.
the character.
Another thing before we leave what we like, I really thought, okay, because there was a lot of.
Are we in what we like or what we don't like?
We can still talk about what we liked.
Yeah.
Like,
there's
there was
still
a
more
whole
to
lot
like.
of, this is just Iron Man 4, this is Iron Man 4, but I loved the fact that Iron Man was in there as much as he was, like, because he didn't take over the movie at
No,
all.
he didn't.
No.
And it
He was
seemed
in
like,
it, what, 3 times?
Yeah.
4 times maybe? 4
and for
scenes of the whole
once,
movie?
we actually had the thing where it's like, why isn't somebody else showing up? Like, whereas all the other movies, it's like, why is this thing happening with Thor and, like, Iron Man's not here? Or, like, it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense that they're connected. But for once, you actually have someone come along, and I was like, it worked out.
Yeah,
nice.
and I like to cut the scene between them, like at Stark Tower. I thought that was good, and the version they used in the trailers didn't seem as emotional. I thought the takes they used in the movie actually seemed way better.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. seemed like
away from him.
It actually felt like there was a little more like emotion in it. It felt more fun, and not fun, maybe fun's not the right word, but it felt like they used a better take in the actual film. Like you can tell, like, oh, this is different than the trailer version. But I thought that was a good scene, and it was good to see. It was funny how he commented, like how he's like, oh man, I sound like my dad now, you know. But I liked seeing Iron Man in that role of the mentor. I thought that was good.
I think it makes sense for him to start taking more of that role instead of the more active participant, which is how he is in Ultimate Spider-Man, I want to say. Like it's the same kind of thing where Peter like looks up to him and is like, oh my gosh, like it's Iron Man, like I'm geeking out right now.
Now here's the one thing I wish that they had. I know we don't need to see Uncle Ben shot and killed and all that stuff again, but I do wish that he would have said, man, without my Uncle Ben, I got nobody else. I have no one to show me, like teach me anything, and
just some sort of reference,
like a reference to Uncle Ben, and he can say like with Mr. Stark, he kind of gives me a little some type of like acknowledge Uncle Ben, like because he's key. He's why he's Spider-Man.
I'm just kidding.
Wait, I was like, my heart almost broke.
No, that's a key component.
Yeah,
I'm just messing with you, man.
Okay, I was like, don't mess with me, man. Like that was one part I didn't. They can get into. Hopefully, they touch on it in another movie. But Uncle Ben needs.
I'm excited to see who they cast as him because I mean I'm sure it's only gonna be for a second. But the big joke. The big joke is Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, because you remember in Seinfeld how he had like the crush on Marissa Tomei. That would be amazing.
That's really funny.
That's just a joke. It's not confirmed or anything.
Can we just talk about Marissa Tomei for a second too?
Yeah.
Like I still have conflicted feelings about Hot Aunt May.
I don't. It's cool. It works. It works.
You're not gonna land Uncle Ben, looking like haggard and stuff.
I know. It's just
that's a man.
It's weird. I feel like that Aunt May has always looked a certain way, even with Sally Field like doing it in the other two movies. Like, so it's like slightly younger, but I'm like,
she's only 62 or what? I don't know how old she is, but
and so it's just to see like Marissa Tomei. I was like, but I like that they acknowledged it too, where it was Tony making comments about it, or them being at the restaurant. And
that was good.
Her free dessert and stuff like that.
That was funny. Well, even the guys at the deli, they're like, he's got this hot Italian in it or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It was weird because
true.
Even I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but even that was something pulled from the Miles stuff because like you got Miles's like they make jokes about Miles's mom being like hot and stuff. So I'm just like, how much are you gonna take from Miles Morales? So then when he comes around, it's just gonna be like, oh. Yeah.
I mean, how did you guys feel about? Because it was kind of a shift for how they presented Flash Thompson. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't care too much. I'm not like a huge Flash Thompson has to be a bully, but I think it makes sense for him being the bully.
But he's still a bully.
Yeah, but he was more of the cerebral bully and not the typical not cerebral, but more like not even a bully, just kind of like that pompous jerk.
I was gonna say he was kind of like a yuppie.
Yeah. He was just
and
like
less
that.
like I'm this physically imposing figure, because that does feel kind of cliched. Honestly, like if they would have done that again.
He just seemed more of a hey, I got a lot of money, I'm gonna make fun of you type of bully.
Those almost are the bullies they're breeding today.
Yeah.
I was like a cyber bully kind of thing without it showing like social media bullying or whatever. Because we didn't see that. But him like having the crowd chant Penis Parker. I mean, that
was funny.
That was pretty funny.
Penis Parker.
Gosh, I hope on future ones my favorite thing about Flash is how much he loves Spider-Man and doesn't like Peter Parker. So I hope they open that up more. I mean, you only could do so much with him here, but
do you feel like they hinted at that a little bit? Like when he took his car, he was like, "Oh yeah, sir."
Yeah,
Like he was at least respectful of Spider-Man.
Dude, Spider-Man not being able to know how to drive was awesome to me.
That was pretty great.
That was cool.
I've only done this like once. It was in the parking lot.
Just oh my gosh.
That's actually that we touched on with Flash being a fan of Spider-Man.
Right.
Like that took me back to that Eric Larson run I was talking to you about, where he was dating Felicia Hardy. He was dating the Black Cat, and
Flash Thompson was.
Yeah.
Okay.
He dates her for a moment back in the '90s comics, and remember an episode where he's like, I want to be just like, he was turning around his life. I don't want to just be like my favorite Spider-Man. And so he was like talking about how awesome Spider-Man was. And just to give you a visual, because it was 90s and it was Eric Larson art, Flash Thompson is wearing like MC Hammer pants and a tank top, a midriff tank top.
No.
And there you go.
Well, there you go.
And a mullet. I think like a curly David Hasselhoff mullet. So if I can find the image, I'm going to put it in the show notes, because
these are going to be some
awesome.
Crazy show
we
notes.
gotta make sure
show notes.
we leave that in the show
Hamster
notes.
tubes and
Okay, you know
Tubes
what I liked, because I didn't see it coming and I actually was thrown in the moment, was the twist with the Vulture.
Oh, dude, that part was good.
Because in that moment, he answers the door. I'm like, wait, hold on. Did he kidnap what's her face? Did
That's
he
what I thought.
like?
That's exactly what I thought.
But then he kept going in the conversation. I was like, no.
that was
it's
such a
her
neat kind of tension in
dad.
that scene, man, because you're sitting there like with him, like, what the heck is going on? Like,
because you think about it, like, no character other than Peter did we hear people's last names of the kids at school. And I was like, good for you guys, because any of those people could have been anyone.
And I think, like, because, okay, this is something I didn't ever even nail down, but that was not Liz Allen then, right? That was Liz Toombs, right?
Yeah, they said it was Liz Allen.
Oh,
Is
that's
Liz Allen?
true.
Because his last name's Toombs. Like, what the heck? Like, they separated? Because I thought they were playing off of, like, our fanboy whole, like, oh, Liz, that must be Liz Allen. And then it's like, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, maybe her mom's
IMDb says
maiden name was
Liz Allen.
Oh, well.
No, I'm pretty sure, like, that's what they've said she's playing is Liz Allen.
Yeah.
And she's still based on that character in the comics, but they just made... I don't know. They really condensed a lot, honestly. If you think about all of the bad guys that they're like, and all of these guys were in a gang together and they all got their tech from one person. And I'm like, yeah.
At least her name wasn't
because you
Martha.
had the Tinkerer. You had 2 different Shockers.
I will kill you. Everyone you care about.
There you go.
Dude, he's so good. Dude, Michael Keaton.
I would say Michael Keaton was one of the best parts of the movie,
dude.
for sure.
And his mask.
Yeah.
I love his mask, the little beady light.
That mask, dude. Okay, that was one of the best. Like, that was a great modern upgrade of Vulture. Like, you can't do Vulture as an old man in like pajamas in the comics anymore. You just can't.
Yeah, no. This made a lot more sense.
Yeah, it did. It made tons of sense, and it was good. And he was menacing, and it was. I love that he wasn't like entirely like, I'm a bad guy. He was just doing what he needed to do. Yeah.
He's like backed into a corner and he was like, I'm going to do what I got to do.
Even the part when Spider-Man like blew apart the ship, he was just like, you don't know what you're getting into. And it just kind of flew off, you know. So,
Yeah.
So that part was crazy. Like,
dug that.
It was Spider-Man's fault that whole thing went down. Like, trailers are funny. Like, when you watch them, you're like, oh, dude, wow, did this even happen? And that whole thing happened because Spider-Man was being a wiener.
Yep.
Like,
that was a great.
That whole thing, like, oh.
That's true.
Dude,
And that guy's all, yeah, Spider-Man. And he's like, yeah, Iron Man.
When the guy's like, do a flip.
Do a flip. That was cool.
Sorry.
Oh, dude, Tom Holland can do all those flips too. I was watching some stuff on him.
That's crazy.
I mean, he does all that stuff. He did a lot of training in ballet and acrobatics because he did like Billy Elliot on Broadway, and so he did a lot of work to do this.
He
movie,
can move.
Man.
I will say, like, that fairy scene makes me think of one of the first small things that I would say that I didn't like.
Yeah,
is really Matt Gorgon has to have a scorpion tattoo on his neck.
I didn't care.
Stupid.
I didn't care.
That's dumb.
Why?
It's just dumb. Like,
how
hey,
else will you know?
It's the scorpion. No one's gonna know. Literally everyone I've talked to since then did not know, and that stupid scorpion tattoo didn't do anything to help.
To me, it made me think, oh, that's gonna be the scorpion.
I knew it was a scorpion. It was gonna be the scorpion because of his name. Like, they
but
a few people, they say his actual full name.
Some people don't even know Black Panther's black, Matt. They
cannot
need
assume
some
anything.
help.
Oh man,
they need help.
Wait, you're telling me
Hold
That guy with the scorpion?
on.
It's like when you play too many
here's the
scratchy
thing:
lotteries.
Scorpion's not
So
like
you're telling me
Scorpion is a Spider-Man
like,
villain, but
when
he's
someone
not
eats
like
too much chocolate.
Go listen to John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
Oh
A
man,
little shout out there
Go
if you
listen
know
to
what we're
him.
talking about. Oh man, I could probably take over the conversation with things that
go for it.
like,
I want to
but-
hear.
But no, what are some of the things like? Are there any things like, as much as you guys enjoyed it? Like,
I got things.
What are the things?
Okay. I thought for this movie it was fun that, he had the suit I was nervous about Karen sticking around too long. Like us talking about it now, it makes sense in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's just like, even with all the different kind of webbing things and stuff, I'm just like, oh man, like I like my Spider-Man like scrappy and not with like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hated
So
it.
that really kind of,
That he had a heads-up display that he could do facial recognition through.
yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah, him like looking at the dudes in the van and stuff. I'm like, this is going a little too
Like enhanced
far.
listening and that kind of stuff. Although they did play it off, just to balance that out, they did play it off really well a few times where it was like, okay, initiating instant kill. And the eyes changed and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, no. Like, I thought that was great.
Yeah. I
So
thought
it was
that
like a
stuff
neat
good.
like one-off. Like I kind of thought that this movie is kind of like a, like if I was reading an issue and I'm like, okay, hopefully this stuff doesn't stick around, you know.
I don't think
really
it is.
hope it
By the
doesn't
end of the
stick
movie, it didn't. I thought he mentioned that he didn't need all that stuff. He just,
Yeah.
he
he's
doesn't need all
keeping
the
his suit,
upgrades.
though.
The suit's fine.
I'd love if he
they
kept
can
the
take
suit,
they
but
can take all the other stuff out.
all the
you know?
whole like all that Tony Starky stuff. Like I'm like, that's Iron Man. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's
you
not
know?
Spider-Man.
Like,
He doesn't need that.
But like,
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
That was the biggest thing. Like,
He just-
it didn't make it a bad movie, but it made it where I'm like, that
It didn't
does
seem
not feel
like Spider-Man to me. Like,
Yeah, but he made his own. He was. I like that little. That little shot showing him how he's making his own web fluid. Like,
Oh,
he
yeah.
still does that. He still
That
makes
was
his web
cool.
fluid.
the lack of spider sense, I'm like, okay, like that.
Yes.
that was bothersome.
The fact
I
he
can
can
get over
climb
it.
into his own room and not realize that someone was there the entire time.
The one thing though, because
Spider sense.
it only
signifies
That's true.
danger.
It's only danger.
So-
That's true.
Yeah. Like, ooh.
Even that though, I'm like, come on, dude.
I
Like,
think he had it. I mean, he had his reflexes. He still had reflexes and things of that sort, and that
Yeah.
could be like spider sense. Like Kevin Feige said that he has spider sense. It just wasn't explored. Like you can't explore everything in this movie.
that's true.
Like he may have
So
already
they just
dealt
spent
with.
time exploring all of the technology that he did.
that he
Yeah.
doesn't have.
But I think he needed to figure out.
He's a
kid.
taste of that.
He's a
so
kid.
that when it's
He's like,
taken
"Oh, I want all
away, he
this
can
cool
prove
stuff."
what he can do and all that.
Yeah,
I get
was
that
his
part of
homecoming.
it.
His homecoming to who he really is the kid in the sweats. That's all he needs. But who doesn't want to have a cool pair of pants? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what he wanted. He needs the shiny suit, but he doesn't need all the stuff on the inside. And
Here's hoping.
it was good. And this is part 1, man. Like part 2 will be different. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
but it should be. Yeah, I agree with that
Yeah.
to an extent. But to push back on that a little bit, like every story needs to make sense in and of itself too. I can't look at it just in terms of like what it is compared to other Spider-Man movies,
Gotcha.
compared to what might come next. I'm like, I don't know any of that stuff now. It needs to make sense now. It's like all of the Zack Snyder stuff, him explaining all the different things about Batman v Superman after it's out, where it's like, no, it shouldn't need that. When you're telling a story, like
Right.
if you want to win me over with it, win me over with the story, not all the explanations.
what
and
what was
could
it
be
missing
afterward.
then? What did you need to know?
It wasn't stuff that I needed to know. It was extra stuff thrown in that I think didn't feel like Spider-Man.
Okay.
That's what I would say, and that could totally change for the next movie. And I get
Yeah.
that, but I think it shouldn't need that, in my opinion.
That
I
I
think-
agree with that. That was one of the few things I was like,
Yeah, I think it showed you that to prove he doesn't need that. I think that was the whole point.
But he didn't
And
have that. Here's the thing: did
I-
you see him use any of that advanced technology the entire time he was fighting the Avengers
no.
in Civil War?
But I guess you could argue though.
No, he
I
didn't.
mean,
No, like none of it.
But he didn't know about that stuff. Remember, he
But
unlocked
he
it.
didn't need it.
But you
No,
could argue
he
that
doesn't need it. That
I know.
was the whole point. He didn't need it, but when he unlocked it, it was like, what is all this stuff? Like,
And you got to remember, I mean, Tony Stark designed the suit, not him. You
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
he designed it like, this is a child, and I'm going to give him every tool I can imagine in here. So then he's just like, yeah. And then
That's
he
true.
didn't need
That's
to
true.
use it.
Yeah.
But
I did like all of the different things when he didn't understand all of the different web cartridges, like doing the
Oh, yeah.
taser web and doing
Yeah.
like all the different ones. He was like, "What? I don't need that. Like, what do you do?"
even though that web like bomb thing that he had
That
going
was
on
cool.
was pretty cool.
That was cool.
a bomb.
That was one part of the technology. I will say, like, I
Just
loved
like-
all the different types of webbing for
Yeah.
sure. So another thing to hate on for me,
Yeah.
and again, I don't want this to become a 50 million tweet long thread either, because I
do.
will.
At J_Rocca.
will,
At Matt Ritchie.
because I am going to pull in The Dark Knight Rises very briefly.
Oh man, here it goes.
There's this thing about comic book movies where they want to be different, but still borrow the goodwill and the feelings from something established, so they don't actually do it completely different, and so they land somewhere in the middle, and it's really annoying to me, and it makes me literally want to boo and like groan out loud in the theater. So in The Dark Knight Rises, that was the John Blake reveal of his real name being Robin.
I hate that.
So right,
I hate
that's
that.
the feeling.
I hate that part.
It's the I felt the exact same way where Michelle's like, my friends call me MJ.
Oh yeah,
like,
I hated that.
Boo.
That was
Stupid,
worthless.
Dumb.
You did not
Just
act
be MJ.
like MJ. She was an MJ the entire movie.
I actually would be fine if she was Mary Jane Parker and that's how her character started in this movie. I would actually be totally fine because I actually thought I dug like that dynamic of that character. But I'm like, just make it MJ instead of making it a different character, but still trying to have your cake and eat it too. Of like, but we're going to treat her like MJ probably in the future. I'm like, no.
It
like,
seemed worthless. I don't
even,
see the point in that other than just yanking people's chain and just
because
it's not
the worst
Mary Jane.
part.
It's not Mary Jane. It's not Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Well, it is MJ though. Oh, that's stupid.
The worst part is
That's
Kevin
stupid.
Feige saying like, well, she's not going to be Mary Jane Watson. It was just kind of a fun thing to make a nod to. Don't make a nod to something that is beloved and then say, it's not it.
But is it?
You know? That's
because
like,
she kind of looks at Peter while he's doing, and they allude to like, well, you're obsessed with him. And she's like, I'm not obsessed with him. Like, I'm like, well, there's obviously something there for the future. They wouldn't cast her as the character if there wasn't something down the line.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But
I thought the movie had enough like twisty stuff with the Vulture and stuff. You don't need to have some rude,
I don't want MJ until he goes to college. I want someone to finally do it in the like. Say what you will about Amazing Spider-Man.
I'm fine with no MJ at all. Actually, like just pick one or the other. For me,
I don't
like
think,
this
I
was
mean,
like
Mary Jane's just not going to happen at this point now, right? I mean, you can't have MJ and then have Mary Jane show up too.
He's like, this is crazy.
I fully
You're
anticipated
MJ.
once she said that. I'm like, oh crap, are we gonna get the line of like, face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot? I'm like, please don't.
I want to hear that line. I want to hear that line in the right context.
Just make her Mary Jane. Like the whole movie, I'm
But
like,
she's
is she
not.
gonna be just Mary Jane?
She didn't act like Mary Jane. She acted like upset art student.
They should just call her something. They use
She
one
was
of the.
she was what's her face from the Breakfast Club, basically.
Oh yeah, she was Ali Sheedy. I can't think of her name. Yeah, no, she definitely was. They all had
which I loved, and I'm like, I liked that dynamic of the character. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I thought every scene she was in, I thought that was great.
That was like
Even
telegraphing. Like you knew that she was gonna say, "Oh, my friends call me MJ." I was like, wah, wah. That was dumb. But
I hated it.
It didn't ruin the
Hated
movie.
that.
It didn't change my my rating of like, oh, it's a gotta go to a don't go. Like it's not that.
It didn't do
bad.
that for me either.
It's not that bad. I'm not saying that.
It was just
But I'm saying that-
fly in my soup.
Yeah, it was. It was like that was stupid.
That was
So
Because I'm just like, she would have been cool if she was Michelle and he had a thing with her and blah 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 blah. But like,
yeah.
Why?
I get staying away from Gwen. Like again, I get staying away from like Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane Parker and stuff like that at this point. Like that makes sense. Like I get it. You want to give that stuff space because it's been done a ton, and you want this to feel like something different. It's like using the Vulture and not Green Goblin or Venom or any of those other guys. Like I get that, but good grief, guys! Like make a decision and stick to it. Like it just feels really wishy-washy to me, and I don't like it when comic book movies do that. That's not a good Easter egg. To me. So
I agree.
That's my feeling on that part of the movie.
I stand with you on that one.
Thanks, dude. Look at us, united in
Michelle,
some capacity.
Joanne, what's her face?
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's why she's not Mary Jane. She is Michelle.
By the way, Michelle's my middle
She's
name.
Michelle Johnson or whatever her name is.
I'm Mary Michelle Johnson.
Maybe MJ comes in like at Spider-Man Homecoming Part 4 and she's like, hold up, I'm MJ. Bam! And then they fight.
And they fight.
And they fight. And then
They don't need to fight.
they should fight.
Just make Zendaya Mary Jane, guys. Like it's okay. If that was going to be it, it's actually okay.
I don't have a problem, but she didn't act like Mary Jane at all. There was
Just
nothing
make Mary
about
Jane
her.
a different character.
Make Mary Jane not a hot supermodel, but make her a weird art student.
Yes.
No,
That I get. It's at least interesting.
I don't like that.
I do. I'm not a fan of changing Mary Jane from supermodel either. Like when they have
We've never had a hot supermodel Mary Jane, to be honest.
Never.
Even in Ultimate Spider-Man when they're like,
Kirsten
she's
Dunst,
super
this
smart
did
and
not
stuff.
happen.
I'm like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah,
Like-
she seems to be smart. She seems to be hot.
She can be smart too, guys.
No.
Maybe Aunt May. Maybe Aunt May could just be Mary Jane too. Maybe it's May,
Mary Jane.
No way, my friends call me MJ too, and it just
Every girl he knows is MJ.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
Betty Brant's
That's
like,
what it is.
actually, my name is,
Medi
Medi
Drant. MJ.
Mary Jane.
J. Jonah Jameson's. Actually, it's
man.
MJJJ.
MJJJ.
That okay? Let's talk about that. I wish
What?
there was my grievances. I got lists of grievances as well. Besides the no Uncle Ben thing, I wish there was a little thing. Here's the Daily Bugle to give that a little bit
Like
of
that it was an actual thing.
yeah.
I'm
Because I wish
fine
it.
with
I
that.
wish it was. I wish it was in the MCU, and then J. Jonah Jameson would have been great.
And if Peter would have been interested in photography too.
I think he did. I mean, he was in the new version of it with the social media.
Oh yeah,
angle
and he did
in the beginning. I thought that
his
was
little
fine.
movie at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I love the movie.
The movie is great.
So, and then my absolute, this is for me, favorite part of the entire movie. You guys got to guess. If you know my heart and you love me, what was my favorite part?
Not the Ferris Bueller part.
Well, that was good. I like that part too. Think about the show, the title of our show.
Oh, because they used Blitzkrieg Bop.
They used the Ramones,
yeah.
dude. I was like, you can't get more New York than the Ramones, and they put them in there, and it was awesome, and it was used twice. And the end credits on that movie were fantastic.
End credits were really
They were
fun.
really
Love the
good.
end
Can I
credits.
say what I thought that use of that song made me feel?
What?
And I think it kind of helps wrap up my general feeling of why I don't love it like everyone else. I recognize this was a good movie, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
With some great performances, some really great pieces. I feel like just like the use of that song reminded me, I'm like, you guys are, I feel like someone's telling me how much fun I'm having instead of having fun with me. It felt like over and over again, it was like, hey, this is fun. Hey, this is fun. Hey, this is fun. Where I'm like, this is okay. Like to me, like the action and him just kind of hanging out. I was like, I get what you're trying to do, but it's not, this isn't super fun. And you telling me it's fun isn't helping.
So
that.
using the Ramones wasn't
That
like...
felt like it was like a picture of what the movie was trying to do. I thought the use of the song was great.
All right.
I think just that made me think of like, oh, that's kind of like the general vibe I got from it. Like,
Yeah.
I was actually bummed. Again, going back to like Civil War, like that scene or the scenes that Peter Parker and Spider-Man were in, both of those, I loved those. And those were like my favorite parts of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it never got back to that for me. And so again, like I said, prefacing this, going into this conversation, it could totally be a problem with me and my expectations. But for me, it never got back to that point. And so when they rolled the credits and they're like, and hey, we're playing Big Screen Bop, and isn't this so fun, everybody? And I'm like, yeah. It's
That's how I felt. It felt really good, man.
The rest of the theater's like,
Like-
yeah. I'm just like, no.
And
I
that
didn't know
part,
what was wrong with me, man. I
my
wanted to
my
love
son,
it more.
whose middle name was Ramon, reached out across his little brother and went, "Dad, the Ramones!" And I was
That's
like,
rad.
"My 8-year-old son, I love you so much. Thank you." And
You did give him that name though, so I mean, you kind of had something to do.
I know,
It's
but
not like he
it-
like just started.
But it
to
was
know the
funny
Ramones
that
on
he
his
was,
own.
but he was excited. It made him
Like,
excited.
Dad.
But he knew that it would make me excited. That was the
Yeah.
part that he went
Aw.
like as soon as he heard it, he went, "Dad, the Ramones!"
Dad feelings.
Dad,
So
I actually go by MJ.
that's gonna be
Mom
the name
actually
of the show,
knows me
dude.
as
I actually
MJ.
go by
My parents
MJ.
call me MJ.
Why did you say that name? It's actually Martha Jones. It's Martha Jane. She's like, actually, my name's Martha. Damn it, Joseph. Why did you say that name? Gotta say MJ.
Gotta say, but only her friends call her that.
Oh man, that was good. Sorry if you were driving right now
Why'd you say?
and you're listening to the show. Sorry.
Oh
Oh man, that was good. Oh,
Martha.
Martha.
Yep.
I actually like that scene in that movie, by the way. We'll talk about that later time.
That's what I was gonna say. Any other overarching things for Spider-Man: Homecoming though? Let's not get pulled into Batman v Superman.
So yeah, I think I did all the things I wanted to talk about. Again, I've only seen it once. Going back to my original thoughts, still loved it. I thought it was a fun movie, and here's what I really loved about it: that Spider-Man is back. Well, not back, but he's in the Marvel universe where he should be. That's where Spider-Man works the best, when he does have like these. He's the comic book where the Human Torch could fly by and be like, "Hey, Johnny, help me." And he can't, because Johnny doesn't hear. He's doing whatever he's doing, and like, oh man, I got to get punched in the face 100 times by a bad guy. And I think that's what's cool. Like, if they always make Spider-Man movies and there's cameos that really don't lead to anything else except, dang it, like, you just, Iron Man just flew by and like, I need help, and he gets beat up.
Yes.
I think that's funny. That's what it was always cool about Spider-Man comics and the Marvel universe in general. But Spider-Man, like, him being entrenched in that is cool, and I really like that of all characters, he needs to be a part of the Marvel universe. Like, it feels empty without him.
Yes.
Like, it's great we have Tony Stark, but we need Spider-Man.
Totally.
So I am glad that he's back where he needs to be. So
yeah, there
we go. There's my thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they handled him well, and they fit him into the Marvel stuff really well. I mean, you obviously had to kind of make some changes. Some of them I didn't really like so much, but it seems like some of the stuff that I had issues with, I'm sure it isn't going to be like a long-term issue, and it was fun. I don't know, a lot of things made sense that they even changed stuff with the Vulture, where I might trip on it being like, oh, he's not like Liz Allen's dad or blah blah blah. Like, it didn't really matter. I was just like, this is fun, it's different, it's new, and so I guess I love Spider-Man, and that was fun.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good stuff. How did you feel about all the villains? Because if you look at it on paper, this actually had a lot of villains in the movie.
I like that, because I don't think the one thing about the other movies is it seemed like every villain had to have this sympathetic like backstory and this like emotional tie to Peter, and I don't think that needs to be the case. Like, even with Amazing Spider-Man 2, like, everybody's like, oh, Rhino, blah blah blah. Like, I liked that he was just a little snippet in there, because it's like there are a lot of villains that are just like a snip. I mean,
yeah, they don't need a full storyline.
Yeah, so Shocker being in there and just being like whatever, and Prowler not even becoming Prowler, he just like I was like, they live there, they're gonna show up, and they're not gonna have this whole drama with Peter. They're just gonna try to punch him, and so that was cool.
And even the Tinkerer, I didn't catch the Tinkerer for a while, and I was like, wait, the guy making all that stuff.
I didn't know anything about it.
The subtle stuff was neat. Oh, one last thing. Sorry, when he's going around trying to like help people and with the bike, and he's just messing up, and when he gets that guy who's trying to get into his car, that was the best thing ever. Because that
was a good one.
That's some Spider-Man stuff that I love, is that he's always doing the right thing, or thinks he's doing the right thing.
Oh man, you know what?
Can we doing the bike thing too? Like,
that was cool.
Where he was like, "Hey, is this your bike? Is this your bike?"
Yeah.
And then. What do you write the note? Is like, please don't steal this, or something like that?
Yeah. Like, no one claimed the bike. I loved when he like went back after the Vulture, when he was like, going there, show my daughter a good time, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like, he was like, no, I'm gonna do the right thing. Like, such a stubborn 15-year-old boy, but like his heart is, I'm gonna do the right thing no matter what, even if it shouldn't be what I need to be doing right now. Like, everyone's telling him not to. He did a good job, and I was so frustrated with Happy Hogan in the movie. You're supposed to be, We didn't talk about Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, and I really liked seeing him in the movie.
Yeah, it was great having him in there.
Him in there, like, it was good, and it was a good. You felt bad for Peter, because he was doing the right thing in some points. It was just, man, if you would have just contacted me or let me know, and even the part where like Tony Stark's like, who do you think called the FBI? I did. I was like, well, we'll tell Spider-Man then. Let him know. Let him know you got his message. Don't be that guy who's like, oh, yeah, we heard. You just didn't let me know. So it's really your fault that you never communicated. So there was those parts of like, you do feel for Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and I think Tom Holland did a fantastic job like doing both of those things. Sorry, I wanted to hit on that. And then the other thing was having Pepper Potts at the end. That was cool.
Oh yeah,
that was cool.
That was really cool.
I didn't expect her at all.
And the implication is that Tony just proposed to her right after that too.
Yeah.
Right?
I went into this movie with not a single spoiler, dude. I avoided
Good for you,
as
man.
much as I could, because after you said you got spoiled,
Your
right?
innocence is admirable.
That's why I was like, everything was a surprise to me. Seeing Pepper Potts in there, I was like, what? So that was cool. And because, she wasn't there in Civil War. So I was like, oh, well, they obviously repaired the issue of her not being around,
was.
So she's back, which, goes to Tony Stark's, issues. But anyways, sorry, I wanted to add that in there because those are big parts that made it overall fun. And it felt like a Marvel Universe movie and Spider-Man was in it. And
I really
had
thought
fun.
the inclusion of Mepper Jots was a good call.
Her friends call her MJ.
Yeah, her friends call her Mepper Jots, dude.
Wait, you're Pepper Potts? Yeah, but my friends call me MJ. It doesn't have anything to do with my initials, but they just call me that.
He's like, hey, MJ.
I'm a really big Magic Johnson fan, and they just no.
Okay, did you guys see that commercial?
Yeah.
That was the tease. Oh, man. Did you ever see those? It was like they did all these promos for the NBA Finals or something, and Spider-Man
And Peter
was
like,
it.
"Oh, I'm gonna
meet MJ."
MJ.
Oh,
And
no.
Magic Johnson was there.
Ah,
I
that's
was like,
funny.
that's good.
Yeah. He's all MJ. He's all, no, man, it's Magic Johnson. And it's
You know what I liked about you bringing up John Favreau being in there, Happy Hogan? He hasn't really been a thing since was he in Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Iron Man 2?
He's in Iron
He's
Man
in
3.
Iron Man 1 and 3, right?
1, 2, and 3. He was in all 3 of them.
Was he in all 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it felt like, hey, we're going back to like Iron Man, starting the MCU. It almost felt like, I wonder if that was intentional of and here's Iron Man and Happy Hogan who started the MCU, handing this off to what's coming next. Because I would imagine Thor Ragnarok and then Infinity War is going to change stuff up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think after Avengers 4, Downey Jr.'s out. I think that's where he's done.
I think that would make sense.
So. Yeah.
And he's probably going to die. He needs to die.
You can see poor Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
On his tombstone, it'll read, "My friends call me MJ."
I hope somebody dies other than
or okay. So sorry. My other favorite part in the whole movie is when Iron Man shows up, and it's when he walks out of the suit because Peter Parker's like, "You're not even here." And he walks out.
Oh,
Oliver
yes.
says, "Tony Stank."
Tony Stank.
Yeah, from Civil War. Remember when Stan Lee's dropping off the gift for him at the end when he's helping
War
I
Machine.
Machine.
Remember that? That's so funny.
My kids laughed so hard at it, and Asher thinks it's funny. So when Stan Lee's all, "Is there a Tony Stank here?" and War Machine's like, "Yeah, Tony Stank. That's it. Come on in." So Ollie always calls him Tony Stank, but he knows he's making fun of him, so he said Tony Stank.
Tony Stank.
Dude, I just want to just watch movies with Oliver because he's funny, dude. This is funny stuff. Oh man,
you need to have them on here.
I know. No, he wouldn't be funny. When you want them to be funny, they won't be funny. It's just when you're.
That's how
there.
kids go, man.
Yeah.
Miles is doing it already.
You're like, "Oh my gosh, you
funny.
did this funny thing. Hey, everybody, watch him do this funny thing." And he's looking at you like, "What?"
I was like, no.
What funny thing? What are you talking about, Dad?
Yeah, I'm not funny. Actually, I hate everything. Stop calling me MJ. All right. Take a drink. Every time we say MJ,
man.
take a drink.
Every time my friends call me MJ. Man. So
sorry, that was such a weird. We were ending the show and we picked it back up.
You picked it back up.
Yeah,
those were some good thoughts though. Yeah. So I think overall, thoughts about the movie would be, it was a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Did we sway you?
I did not love the movie, but I think it's good and I think it's worth seeing.
Nice.
Did it move?
Did it move from a go to a let's go? Maybe a tiny bit, like a go 0.5.
Go 0.5.
Go 0.5.
I don't. It's just not a gotta go for me. I didn't feel that way about it. I feel like honestly, if we look at recent movies we've seen, I had more fun and feel like I laughed more at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I love it. You know what? Can we talk about that for a second, or are we going out of time? Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was so fun. We all went. We had a good time, right?
Yeah.
They're reading this stuff on Twitter because people are talking about, everyone wants to rate Marvel movies. Oh, this is the best one now. Guardians of the Galaxy sucked. And I was like, part 2? I didn't think it sucked. I really liked it.
I liked part 2 more than part 1.
I did too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both equally good to me, like in different reasons. They're two good movies, and I like them both. Like,
seems like there's an inevitable backlash, like with any superhero movie after it's gotten enough praise. Like,
I don't know,
it's
man.
Just like, oh boy,
I think Guardians of the Galaxy 2 actually had a better like ending battle. Like the one with
for sure.
The one with like Ronan was like whatever, dude. Like
that wasn't a battle. It was like an encounter.
It was a Care Bear stare at the end of the movie.
Care Bear stare. That's all
what
it
they
was.
did.
This actually felt like a fight. Now it was over the top and stuff, but whatever. So here's what we can do to wrap up talking about Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
I just had this idea.
Do it.
It might be a horrible idea.
Yeah.
What if anytime we do a MCU movie or a DCEU movie, we talk through our like, I don't know, top 3, top 5 and see if that broke into that and changed anything for us.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea if it like broke the top 5. And I almost have to think about it, but my top 1 is Winter Soldier. It still is. Winter Soldier is my favorite MCU movie, followed right by Guardians of the Galaxy. Just because Guardians of the Galaxy, I love it so much because it's so different and that they took a risk, and it's just so fun and original, and the whole movie makes me happy. Like when I watch it, I'm happy. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, such a good movie. And then you get into like, it gets murky.
So then we get to 3.
Yeah, my third, it might be Iron Man.
Okay.
Iron Man, or it's between Iron Man and Captain America: First Avenger. The First Avenger is such a good movie.
You put all of those in front of Civil War?
Yeah. Wow. I don't think Civil War is that good. I think Civil War is a good movie, but just I have a lot of grievances with it.
Okay, we don't need to get into this.
I do.
So 4,
I like Civil War.
4?
Civil War is good, but it's not.
So now 5.
Probably my 5th one. I don't have that list, man, but probably like Iron Man.
Did Spider-Man make that list? How about that?
No, he's in the top 10, but he's not in the top 5.
Yeah. All right, Delon, moment of truth.
All right.
I feel like Ragnarok's going to be in there.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
All right, you could take mine or leave it.
Yeah.
But let's see.
I'll probably leave it.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it too.
Well, you can't do that. So
no, I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm a fanboy, so I'm just going to say stuff.
Dirty fanboy.
From 5, I'd probably have to say Guardians 2.
Yeah.
Because it was.
You're going 5 to 1?
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh, you're saying Guardians 2 or Guardians also, Justin?
Guardians Dose.
Volume 2. Okay.
Volume 2.
Gotcha.
Revenge of the Ego Planet. Colon. So and then let's see. Wait, I gotta get this straight. All right, and then 4, I'd have to say Winter Soldier, because I love that movie.
It's a good movie.
That is a really good movie.
I guess 3, I'd have to say 3. No. 4, I'd say Avengers. Then 3, I'd say Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Avengers is like in the top 5. Sorry.
Then I would actually I would probably say Spidey on 2nd, just because I love Spider-Man so much.
Yeah.
And
that's
I
fine.
felt like they did him right.
This is your list, man. I'm not going to tell you how to make
on
it.
the top, I put Civil War because it was amazing. It had the best Spidey scene that's ever been put on film.
It's
That's
true.
I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah. I would actually say Civil War is 1 for me.
Wow.
Winter Soldier is 2. First Avenger is 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going based off of just pure enjoyment, by the way, not like the significance of the movies or whatever. Because then you could argue like Avengers and different things like that. The significance of it especially puts it up there. Just pure enjoyment factor. Those would be my top 3. And then 4 would be Ant-Man. And 5 would probably... That's where I start to get a little murky. I would say probably Doctor Strange.
Really?
Hey, Doctor Strange is low on my list. I just watched it again. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I haven't even bought it. Like I usually buy all the movies.
Okay. Worst MCU movie.
Worst? Oh man, Thor: Dark World.
Delon.
Yes.
This is a whole show, man.
Dude, this is the whole show. I would say Age of Ultron.
Oh yeah.
That in there.
I watched. Here's the thing. I watched Age of Ultron 2 days ago, and definitely confirms that it's pretty bad. All right, sorry. This is a whole other show. We'll have to do what we hate about MCU at some other time. So
Thank you, Adam West.
Thank you, Adam West. I don't know why I keep going into this Adam West thing at the end of the show. If you want to get in contact with us, please hit up Let's Go Comic Show on Twitter, Instagram, and hit us up on Facebook at Let's Go Cast on Facebook, and hit www.letsgocast.com where you can check out this show and other shows on the Let's Go network. Please go to iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review and a positive comment. That would be amazing. And go to our YouTube page. Just search YouTube for Let's Go Cast and you'll find us. Subscribe so that we can get those numbers up so we can do some different type of shows on that outlet. That would be so great and appreciative. And spread the show. If you like the show, tell other people about it. That would be great. And lastly, we got to talk about our hashtag of the Let's Go Comic Shop. Use hashtag Let's Go Comic Shop to share how amazing and awesome your shops are. Or you can be like our friend Rob Myers and just show us how terribly awkward his store is.
It's amazing.
He literally gets his comics in a gymnasium where girls are doing,
gymnastics and cheerleading.
Yeah. So, hey, go for it.
It's a great little story.
It's funny.
That's going to be great for a lot of guys.
Maybe.
No, that is not great.
I feel like
you
it's
get
not.
to get comics. Look at
young girls.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
I'm thinking
so wrong.
That is not what we
I'm so wrong.
encourage on this show, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm forgetting. I'm
Get
like
in,
30.
get your comics, and get out, guys.
And I don't want to be like ego driven, but I feel like Rob is using the word comic appreciator. I don't know if you got that from us, Rob. If you got that from us, let us know because I actually like that you're using this hashtag comic appreciator.
Dude.
As Matt is an appreciator of the Flash.
Smell those floppies.
Smell those floppies, dude. That's right. Smell those floppies. So I appreciate it. I think it's funny when people use things that you say and that's awkward and they say it again. I'm like, hey, validate it, dude. Validate it. So
thanks again, Rob, for jumping in on the hashtag Let's Go Comic Shop.
he wasn't jumping, man. It was the acrobats.
Someone else was jumping.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
hey, he's going there, getting his comics, getting it done. And that's actually a really amazing story. And that's, guys, if you want to go get comics, if you want to find them, there is a way. Mm-hmm. Even if it means just having a pull list at a place that doubles as a gymnastics and cheerleading gymnasium. Hey, you make it happen. Way to go, Rob.
All right.
All right. Well, that's our show this week. We want to say thanks again to our good friend Delon. Hanging out with us again.
Rad friend.
Our rad friend.
Thanks for having me. And for anybody that I called a loser, I'm very sorry.
But he stands by that.
To you.
You just got to stick to your guns.
Personally.
You got to stick to your guns.
All right. You're losers.
All right. So until next time, I'm Matt.
I'm Justin.
Oh, I'm Delon.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, 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 Let's go, go, go.
Welcome to episode number 23. Why did you start laughing?
I didn't do anything.
Me?
Yeah.
Because you were so loud.
Sorry.